So, hello and welcome you back to the second part of the Zelda bosses in Hybrid Heaven. This time we're going to be doing the wind one.
Neat.
It looks like some rejected Pokemon. And it disappears. I forgot about that.
Well, it's the wind, so it can make itself invisible.
That is true. However, they do stop for like a second when they get usually when they get into a position. But their position is very often a little bit further away from you. That is actually something that will come back with some other enemies that also have this property. You know, being invisible.
Right.
Which they will kind of become random encounters from now on. I mean, not this enemy, and definitely they don't have as much HP as this one, but they follow similar like disappearing pattern.
So if you
But
throw
yeah, now
so do they become visible if you throw a jar of piss at them?
no, but they become visible once I punch them.
Repeatedly. Send them flying across the fucking map.
Yeah. Pretty much in order to make sure they're actually within your vicinity, stand in a place, wait for them to wait for them to, like, you know, attack you or with a combo or whatever.
Right.
But then they can also do this, like get you in a if get within your vicinity and keep attacking you from the sides from where you are, where you're currently at, or from where you have fell on the floor. And that's not great, because you have to readjust yourself before you actually perform a guard.
Indeed.
And then they get free extra shots.
As is true of real life.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this would be true for us as well if I didn't completely rely on combos to do the most damage, because that just is the best way to do damage. And also another thing worth keeping track of. Even though your characters, even though you cannot see them, your character still auto readjusts. Fucking hell! Just stop it, Ron. Stop.
This isn't Ron. He's not asleep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be risking it. Yeah, like that's like kind of what you have to take into account. While doing combos does give you the most damage in the most sure way, the enemies will often not do combos, and they will instead just like bombard you with attacks similar to how we did it at the beginning of the game when we didn't have several bars loaded. You know, throw them on the ground, kick them, wait for them to start getting up, throw them on the ground again. But yeah, what I was saying is your character auto readjusts to face the enemy. So yeah, you'll still be able to land a hit if you just let go of the control stick and like, you know, see when they change. Fuck you.
Change now.
So yeah, for this, using the kicks is a good idea because they have a little bit of a bigger reach. However, obviously he can still. Oh, and back blow is one of my favorite attacks in the game. it's pretty much a bitch slap. Like a super pimp slap.
Super pimp hand slap.
Yes. It is such a it has such a wonderful animation. Also, this ground is making me sort of dizzy because it looks like I'm moving forward even when I'm not.
You're flying, Nico.
But I didn't even make a grab for it. There you go. Also, if like that means he's actually weak.
I always hate when bosses heal themselves.
Well, this is a good indication that this is a good time to load up a full combo and unleash it right in his oversized face. Because otherwise we're never defeating him. Because remember, enemy has unlimited amount of items. You don't.
Yeah.
And while yes, I do not super care for enemies, how the enemies can use items infinitely in this game, and they have they have recovery items at all. It's asshole. It's still balanced fairly well because they will only use it in a very, very specific situation. As in when they're close to dying, which is sort of their indication. And aside from one of them, it never gets too out of hand. One of them. I keep reminded there is this one boss where I say, use the ice shots. And I'm always referring to that one, pretty much always.
Just don't bother to fight fair with him. Just shoot him in the face with ice.
There are more than enough reasons to do that. Part it's the boss is just unfair, and other part is the amount of bullshit you have to deal with before you actually get to fight him. I'm just I shouldn't be waiting to get all of these turns. I shouldn't be waiting to get all of these turns. I should just attack him now, because I don't think that they will always use an item when they're at low HP. Like keep using them forever. Like some bosses definitely do that. Some of them do. I'm not sure if all of them will.
Either way, dick move.
Also, even though he is a wind elemental boss, I don't think we ever even saw him use a wind attack.
Nah, his punches are just fast as the wind.
No, they're just as fast as ours.
Well, that means we're as quick as the wind.
And is that end? Yes. Charge sponge. Gotta be. B is for bad.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I cannot argue with that. Could have done it better.
Ah, the sun. Jump into it.
There is no sun. We're way too far in. But yeah, interesting thing. Each time you clear one of those bosses, the room you're in, the walls sort of collapse, and all of the rooms that you have cleared so far appear. So in the end, this is going to be like just a gigantic cylindrical hallway.
another one.
And now we have the elemental. I think
I'd assume Earth is yellow.
Earth isn't really a thing. I would assume that this is electric elemental because we also have ion shots.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this looks like ion. This looks like electricity.
Yeah. Little lightning tornado.
Yeah, and this one is a lot more trigger happy. When we get on when we get on a distance, he will shoot at you, which means that it is both not a good idea to stay far away from him, but it is a good idea to keep running around in circles while having a power boost active.
You know, this guy looks like an alien out of Dragon Ball. Just saying.
You know, you're correct.
I'm waiting for him to fire Kamehameha.
I mean, he already kind of did. You know, the electric attack that caused a tornado.
That was a tornado move. That doesn't count.
It's a. I mean, it would be kind of fitting, honestly. And I don't think that any of the enemies in this game has any laser attacks or anything resembling that. So yeah.
Or at least none until fucking one of the latest movies.
But yeah, elemental attacks do a lot of damage if you don't have any resistance to them, which you build by getting attacked by those attacks. However, by innate, just like because of the way they put everything together, the only one you can really ever train is fire. You can train the other ones, like for example wind or electricity, or even ice, but it's way harder to actually fight those enemies. And he also has that one attack that the first boss used. I completely forgot about that. You know, on one hand, it's a good thing that the bosses that the enemies do not like using combos, but on the other hand, they can still get you in such a, you know, they can still get you in a really bad situation by saving all of their turns. Which is nice that they do that.
If it works on them, it works on you.
Exactly. I mean, if you feel like it, you can apply the exact same strategy, because as we can see, it is effective. It is effective to save your turns and then use your attacks one by one. It's just that my preferred method is to punch everybody 5 times with my right hand. Now just walk up to me. Just walk up to me. Yes. Perfect. And done. And he dropped a battle charger. Never gonna use it. Yeah.
I hear Dork. I just don't see Dork.
No, it's Offense Drainer. That one's actually useful. That one I am going to use it. And now comes the easiest one.
Earth. Definitely Earth.
Earth. That's why he looks like a creature from a volcano, because volcano is earth and the floor is lava.
Yeah.
Now, because of how I trained my fire resistance, this boss is pretty much a laughingstock. This is supposed to be his most powerful attack, unguarded. I believe, like, I don't think my guard actually triggered that time. But yeah, he mostly relies on those, on the projectile attacks. No, that was actually guarded, so yeah. Compared to how the other one did 200 HP unguarded and like 120 guarded, this is absolutely nothing. And this is, considering how he doesn't even want to move in, this is what's supposed to get you. Like, this is what's supposed to destroy you.
The fact that you gotta go to him?
Like, the fact that he, just like his projectile attacks, because he doesn't even care to approach you. He, like, his AI is, specifically designed to favor attacking from distance, but his attacks from distance aren't very effective because, you know, I trained on the man with glasses.
You didn't train me.
Well, the ones with black glasses that I knocked off with the uppercut.
You didn't train me.
That's what I said. But yeah, he really wants to get us with his fire breath, but I made fire irrelevant. And it seems that even as this fight is going on, now he like, I think that my fire resistance just cannot go any higher at this point, because usually at this point after having received this much damage, like, my fire resistance would go up. At least that was the case with the fights against the Men in Black. Like, I would receive like 2 or 3 hits, and then one hit point would be taken off of every fire attack that I get from that point on. And he's Onion Rings. And that was the last of the Zelda bosses. Yeah, it's gonna pick up my little prize. It's a Battle Charger L. Never gonna use it. Now, here's the real price. I do love that cutscene. It's so well made, like from technical standpoint.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
Like, I don't think, like, if this was on the PlayStation 1, they would have had to do this entire thing in FMV because there was no way they would have been able to load so many things without any sort of transitions. But here, they just managed to do this with camera tricks and what have you. Like the way the entire room changed to that whole platform. It's so good.
Oh yeah.